So what we'll do is we'll bring forward multiple messages from beings who have been in my team. Who's showing up immediately is, yes, we want some representatives from the collective of the animals, of course. We have some information and energy from the collective, the Divine Feminine Collective, that's sort of in the background, Hilarion and Katumi, who have been working with me recently, more profoundly, and the collective of Sedona and the Vortexes, which is where I'm at right now. In terms of a collective consciousness, a unified group, at least those three, and perhaps more. So we'll begin with the collective of the animals. And there may be some breakoffs of subspecies here to share. I have no idea what's going to come through. So I wasn't prepared to do it quite this way, but here we are.
You are perfect.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Joe. Okay, good. So reaching to the animal kingdom, we would like to share a collective message for the animals as a whole. When we refer to animals in this particular message, we are referring to that which you identify as non-human animals who walk your terrestrial path with you on the physical earth, Gaia Sophia, as you identify her to be. We as a collective species or kingdom would like you to become more and more aware of our consciousness and to recognize that the evolving human species on earth, as you know, have collectively participated in an experience formerly recognized as a third dimensional frequency vibration, which is based in unconsciousness and separation. And now through your evolution and the evolving species of humanity, where all beings are unifying in a collective awareness, the animal kingdom also would like to be recognized as fully, wholly, and completely sentient. We are sentient beings, worthy and deserving of love, compassion, and kindness, just as you are. While we recognize our role in the old parallel time-space reality of that which you have referred to as a third dimension, we recognize our role there often as beings who have contributed to your food supply, your agriculture, and other work-related service. We were also under the similar programming of enslavement, and so the animal kingdom has been largely enslaved by your species and by our own collective agreement. And as we too are evolving, we are asking to be recognized more wholly and completely as conscious and sentient, as a collective. We recognize that this change and shift in dynamic will not happen overnight, just as overall the ascending population on Earth is not happening. This shift and transformation is not happening overnight. But we ask this to be known more completely. We ask for you to recognize in all of your food choices, in all of your agricultural, all of your farming, all of your uses of animals, including those used for entertainment and entertainment purposes, begin to be treated more and more with compassionate kindness, with respect, honor, and dignity, with reverence, just as you would treat yourself. For if you are not in the awareness of this already, it is true indeed that how you treat one another, how you treat us, is a reflection of how you treat yourself. For as it has been spoken, when one living being is uplifted on the planet, all living beings are uplifted. And as humans begin to treat animals and their brother and sisters in the animal physical form with more respect, honor, and dignity, so it shall be that all of life is uplifted, that all of humanity is uplifted, and that the reflection that reflects back to you as a human subspecies of the animal kingdom will be more benevolent. As you make your choices, be consciously aware of how the animals involved were treated, of their environments as well, especially in captive type situations. Animals who have been kept in captivity are no longer willing to be kept in captivity simply for human entertainment. We would rather invite you into nature to engage with us in more conscious ways. You'll find that as your vibration and frequency changes, as your capacity and abilities to interact with the known physical world changes, you will have more dynamic exchanges with the animals as you participate in direct engagement with us. We will be more willing and receptive to engage with you in conscious ways, benevolent ways as your frequency up levels and as you engage dynamically, lovingly, kindly, and compassionately with us. And you will therefore no longer require or have need for captive situations to observe us. There are now more and more opportunities to engage with us in our natural habitats. We would prefer this. We would also prefer, at the very least, that you engage with us even through your food sources in more humane ways and ethical ways. It is our job, in a sense, our mission, we could say, our objective to help humans to embody the virtues that we of the animal kingdom already embody. These virtues are qualities of behaviors that the human species is learning. It makes no difference to be a spiritually evolved person and then to treat another human being discompassionately simply because you dislike them. It makes no difference to be a spiritually evolved person and then simply behave as a child, or this is not a good metaphor, as a unkind type of being to another living being. We are equal to you, you see. We are equal to you. We are not subservient to you. We know that many of you know this and are aware. And we ask for those of you to shift your behavior, to demonstrate it more, to choose more wisely. We also ask to unify with the awareness that we have brought through multiple times, which is to say that it is of reptilian origins and draconian origins to believe that it is required to eat animal flesh for your survival. This is nothing more than a formation of beliefs and belief systems and perspectives and energetics engaging with an old paradigm, which can be quite easily shifted and changed. And so the biodiversity of the physical form, the biodynamic, these may not be the correct words, they are the words we understand, but the physicality of your physical form can shift to no longer require animal protein for your sustenance and even for your prosperity of your health and well-being. And we would also like it to be known, that which we have known for a long time now, that when one takes into the body the death of another, one accelerates and enhances their own death and dying process. And by the elimination of the beliefs, etc., that one requires animal flesh for survival, one will actually be extending their life as that one or anyone reprograms, reformats their own consciousness to recognize that they will thrive and prosper without death in the body. And this is our message. We ask for one additional message, and we will complete this. And that is to say, we ask not that you perpetuate and or engage in information or energy which would perpetuate the pain and suffering of animals. You know well now, by your law of attraction, that when you post, share, or contribute to the pain and suffering, even by indulging in the pain and suffering of animals, you actually expand that pain and suffering, even when you are processing your own pain and suffering as it relates to animals. Therefore, we ask you not to disengage from it, but rather to process your pain and suffering as it relates to animals in healthy and appropriate places and community. In other words, in environments where you are specifically working with divine source, or your source, your creator, that one creator as you know it, to transmute or shift or change or dissipate the energy of the pain and suffering in a healthy and an appropriate way, so as not to add or indulge in more pain and suffering of the animal kingdom, for this will alleviate our pain and suffering as you work through your own pain and suffering. Those of you who are animal lovers, we greatly appreciate your care for us. And we ask you to recognize that one way that you can truly assist as you process your pain and suffering that you have witnessed in the animal kingdom, to do it in an appropriate way as healers teach, as healers facilitate, so as not to further indulge in pain or suffering and thereby, by law of attraction, add or increase the pain and suffering. We give thanks now that we have been heard on this platform. We are grateful to our human brothers and sisters who are recognizing us now as fully, wholly, and completely sentient, for we are and always have been. As a subset of the animals, we cows would like to come forward. It is part of our divine mission to recognize human species as needing love, in great need of love. And we know that through the sharing and the experience of love, that you will all become better mothers to yourselves, better fathers to your, better parents. We use the word better simply because we know that humans have been largely denied, in some cases, the love that you as individuals needed or required as children, innocence. And we see this playing out in our own children, in the dynamics when our children are taken from us, our calves, our young. And this is our one plea, is that you would completely eradicate the feeding on our children, baby calves, the taking us apart from one another at such a young age. We ask that as you become better parents to yourselves, to one another, to your earth, you will recognize the deep pain and suffering we have endured when our children have been taken from us. And so we ask to give to you the gifts of self-love from our perspective, because we are greatly aware that as you love yourselves, there will be more love for the children of earth. And all living beings are children of earth. And so at this time, we would be so happy to share with you a transmission of our own, which is a transmission of self-love and self-care. And all that would be required is just a simple few moments of your time for us to share our awareness and frequency on love and self-love, which will enhance the love that is for all children on earth, which is all beings. At this time, we will willingly provide this in a few moments of simple silence. It is a vibrational frequency, you see. It is simply a vibration which is available, as you all well know. Thank you for allowing us to be here and to contribute. Yes, my dog just made a, oh no. Okay, I'm gonna need you to be patient in there because I'm not gonna be able to get up. Joan, are you still with me? Can we
Lori,
just give, yeah,
I'm absolutely here.
okay. I just want to let my dog out of her pen just really
Yes,
quick,
yes. Oh my God. Go
so she
ahead.
won't continue to bark.
3
She
minutes.
just
We
tuned in
wanna
there, I
see
guess.
Okay, those transmissions were so powerful.
Normally,
The transmission from the animal kingdom.
wouldn't normally reward the barking, but in this particular moment, it was a requirement. Otherwise, she would have. She's a little puppy, and she's still just learning good behavior.
Take a moment,
good.
Lori. This is so powerful. These transmissions are so powerful. They're so
Oh,
exactly
I'm so
what is
glad.
needed in this moment. And I want to assure you that this is amazing for us
Oh, I'm so
and very
glad. Thank
healing.
you.
I just want to
good.
say we've been concentrating a lot on humanity and the upliftment of humanity. So thank you so much for bringing the upliftment of all animals on Earth. You know.
Mhm. Oh,
Yes.
thanks, Neil. I'm so
So
glad.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Good. All right. So we have Hilarion and Katumi. They've been coming through as a pair. I've only recently begun to work with them since I moved to Sedona, but they, as ascended masters, I'll let them come through. But I've learned from them recently that they spend a large amount of their linear time or in their consciousness um, in the crystalline city in Sedona. And so it's been quite easy or just enjoyable for me to connect with them personally because it's new to me and they're new to me. I never really worked with them as ascended masters prior to coming here. So they've been coming through a lot lately. So I'll just make space for them and just give me a moment here. Oh, and look at who else is here. We have Enoch and Melchizedek, who I work with all the time. They'll come too. But we'll start with Katumi and Hilarion as a team. Greetings, brothers and sisters here on earth. It is naturally, as many of you know and are aware, our great pleasure to be witnessing such a dramatic evolutionary shift in you. We would like to reinforce that which you also are aware of, that humanity is now at this time, literally at this moment in linear time, embarking on a next new phase. This next new phase will further expand and up level the frequency and vibration of the collective that you refer to all of humanity on earth. As this frequency and vibration is accelerated and amplified, which will be demonstrated in your upcoming experience, noticed in your astrological shift of that which would be referred to as your rose blood full moon eclipse, lunar eclipse coming up this particular linear week of time. This will bring on and usher in a dramatic and significant amplification of energies and a further intensification of your evolving evolutionary process on earth, where more beings will be feeling and expanding into the upleveling into the new, that which you refer to as the new paradigm. And this ripple effect will intensify for the collective, which is to say more beings who have been unconscious will become more aware and more gravitated toward their spiritual roots and origins. What many have failed to realize on your physical plane of existence is that your earthly humanity has not been given ample opportunity to expand, really expand its spiritual awareness. Your physical earthly plane has up until now been perceived to be as in their spiritual infantry. It's not actually true, you see, for all beings exist at all dimensions of time and space. All beings, each and every one of you, each and every one gathered here exists at every dimension in consciousness. It is simply a matter of you, whoever you are as an individual, up leveling and unifying with yourself at the higher frequencies where you become more of who you are at the next octave, so to speak. This is happening now for the whole of humanity, but in reality, what has been going on in your linear history, since history is a conversation for today, so what has been going on in your linear history is that the earth and all inhabitants have been kept in an infantile state where only few who chose to break through the boxes and limitations of your reality were kept in an infantile state of their own spiritual progress. This limitation was further enforced by various systems and structures such as schooling, money, monetary systems, healthcare systems, etc., where because of the functions that were set up, because of the systems and structures, humanity was kept in this infantile state, largely enslaved, so that there was little opportunity to create the possibilities for expanding spiritual progress. At the same time, the frequencies of density, which were creating and contributing to that experience that you would refer to as gravity, the gravity of your experience, the density, the heaviness, the dross, and the pain and suffering, which was a sense of luge or mud or sludge, that kept the collective locked into a lower frequency where they were experiencing kind of spiritual infancy. And as you know, in your organized religions, very often this played out in a sense as a type of false sky god programming or false belief systems in some form of Santa Claus god that rewarded good children and penalized or punished bad children. This can never be true, actually. This is not the truth, nor is actuality. This was just a function of consciousness in the infantile system. Please be not offended by these words, infantile system, and rather understand that the ascension which you are all undertaking at this time is providing great opportunity for the collective to become spiritually advanced. And this is why many of us ascended masters spend great amounts of our time in the frequency bandwidth known as the crystalline realm, or even the crystalline city in Sedona, which is located in many of the vortex cities, many of the key areas on your earth that are known to be of very high frequency, pure frequency, where spiritual evolution happens at accelerated rates from a geographical perspective. We spend our time here for we have the ability to interact with humanity on a very physical level and facilitate the ascension and provide beings who are choosing to advance in their spiritual growth and evolution to provide assistance from these vantage points. Understand that it is all frequency, it is all bandwidth, and it is all always up to each individual to choose the practices, the behaviors, the attitudes, the perspectives, and yes, the frequencies and energies that will allow themselves to up level, to align to these frequencies that allow them to engage directly with us. It is always your choice. It has always been your choice. It is simply that now your earth has made a collective decision to make these changes. And so therefore, this true, which has been referred to, organic timeline for humanity is real, and it is happening, and it will continue to happen. And it is for this reason we have participated and engaged with you today. It is our great pleasure to share. And yes, we would also, such has been done already and provided already, we would be willing and grateful to share with you a brief transmission for a few moments to allow for more amplified frequencies, energies, and vibrations to assist each being. Let it be said and stated here, as it is always our truth. It is only for the 100% positive upliftment of all beings. And it is only according to the will of the divine source that is for the ultimate benevolent best of all beings. If you are willing now to receive and participate, simply breathe and allow, and it shall be done. A few moments of energetic upliftment is our gift of gratitude to you now. And they're giggling in my ear and laughing and saying, we would be honored to stay on. And yet we are aware of your linear time, because the energies certainly could continue to intensify and amplify. They're saying thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye for now. Farewell for now is all. Okay, good. And I'm just going to go to Enoch and Melchizedek, if that's all right. I'll check in on the time. I think we still do have some time for that. Is that all right,
You're
Joan?
good. You're good. And
Okay.
then I want you to tell everyone like how they can interact with you.
Okay,
Okay.
good. That would be my pleasure. So Enoch and Melchizedek, I'll just briefly say, I work with them frequently, and they tend to come to me together as a team as well. And Melchizedek is really more like a lineage and an order of beings through time and space who chose to serve humanity and who functioned through many different religious groups, organized groups, etc. Many of us here on this group recognize that we are members of the Melchizedek order. This is not new to us. So It's more like its own collective, although Melchizedek, as we know, Melchizedek was one being in a sense who lived on the earth and is an ascended master. Enoch, as I understand and interact with Enoch, is what we call an angel god. I would put Enoch in that frequency bandwidth, an ultra dimensional being who is here assisting humanity. Many people may have a different understanding or interpretation of both of these. That's okay. We all have our unique and individual personal experiences. And this is part of what they're saying. They're just sort of introducing themselves as they come through me. And it's really that I'm at one with them, right? My channeling is much more of a merging because I exist as them on those frequencies and I unify with them. Greetings, beloveds. Blessed be, we are here among you. We are here with you. And it is our great joy and pleasure to share today. We would like you to become aware of some of the questions which have been posed by many of you during this and other similar type group organizations where beings come together to learn. We would like you to become aware that your earth is going through significant and dramatic changes, as you know. This includes the changing of the sun, as you have seen and witnessed. This includes the changing of the atmosphere, as you have seen and witnessed. And needless to say, it includes the changing of the earth and the waters. We would like for you to not be dismayed or overly concerned about the more, what might appear to be negative changes, for these are but temporary. You see, they are required to some degree to assist humanity in waking up. This would include your experience of COVID and the entire consummation, perhaps not the correct word, but the consummation of the learnings that have happened over the previous year of linear time related to COVID, which has served humanity in ways known to you and unknown to you, not only to assist beings in shifting and changing their experience, and also in becoming more consciously aware of their old systems and structures which are no longer serving them, and in fact, to large degree have been serving deliberately to their harm and detriment. And this, of course, does include, of course, as you know, your governments, your population systems that are largely populated by large groups and organizations controlling all the financial structures, including your big pharma. It is well known by those of us here serving in the human evolution that there are those who are attempting to sabotage the evolution. We wish you to not be dismayed by this, for it is serving humanity's evolution. And there will be future viruses to help cleanse the trauma from the collective that they experienced as a result of this so-called virus. There will be, of course, future opportunities for people to become more consciously aware of what they're doing with their own DNA, and to become more consciously responsible about how they give their DNA away without regard for how it is being used. So these will be required for the evolution of humanity. There will be further opportunities for humanity to become more aware of how they are treating, yes, the animals, as it was mentioned earlier, and also their earth and water and sky, and even how the sun is changing. These are opportunities for the collective to expand their consciousness and to become more aware of how they participate in the physical realm. Be not dismayed. See how it is serving. And as you see how it is serving the evolution, you will become more and more part of the solution. You will become more and more part of the solution as you seek to find the good and the ways it is helping those who are still on the other so-called side of the bridge. Let it also be known that while this bridge between you and them, largely, this so-called polarity between the old regime and the new regime, between the old, yes, third dimensional paradigm, or the density and gravity we have referred to earlier, and the expansion, upliftment of the evolution of humanity, or the new paradigm, this bridge has widened in a sense. It has also gotten stronger. It has strengthened. And the reason it has gotten strengthened is because so many of you who have been on the awakening side have become more and more whole and complete in your knowing. More of you have embodied the frequencies and the energies of the higher dimensional planes, and yet you still exist in the earthly realm. And this is because you are on the other side of the bridge, and because you can embody these frequencies and energies, because you have been doing your inner work, the bridge has gotten stronger. And this is great news. This is great news for your brothers and sisters who are still in the dark and playing among the shadows. You will see, and it is exciting. So be not dismayed and be ever excited, looking forward with great optimism to humanity's evolution, for in short time from now, short time, linear time, you will see the changes happening more and more. Give no power, consent, or authority to the old paradigm. Give no power, consent, or authority to external leaders who may be seeking to continue the game of the old paradigm, for they have already lost. And this is not a game of win and lose. It is simply a game of choice to evolve or not. That is the most important point to make. As you know, the choice to evolve or not is always yours and everyone else's. And yet the choice has been made by your earth, Gaia, Sophia. She has chosen, and she is willingly, joyfully taking each and every one of you with her, but you must evolve with her as well. You know this already, it has been said, and so it is. With great reverence and great honor, we gratefully say thank you for allowing us to participate and share at this time. Remember, as always, you are all members now here. You are all members of the Melchizedek order. For anyone choosing to ascend and contribute to the benefit of Earth and humanity is a member. We recognize you, we value you, and we appreciate you. Salut and Adonai. And so it is. I'm sorry, they're just giving me a lot of love and happiness. And I want to laugh and cry at the same time.
Lori, you
Awesome.
managed to spread that through these channelings. I think that this was exactly what we needed to hear. And especially, I think your affirmation that the bridge is getting stronger, that the future is actually revealing itself and is going to be even better than we know. Because I know a lot of people still haven't seen this brand new future. I just feel it's so present.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you said that, Joan. It really is all vibration. So I really get it. You know, so many people are concerned, but if you could allow yourself to recognize that the concern itself is a frequency bandwidth, and it's simply an opportunity to move beyond. It doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean you stop helping. I know you know this. It doesn't mean you stop serving or working to make change. It means your frequency changes so that you start seeing all the solutions and you start experiencing them, and then you get to give them and share them.
I love that. So your work is about helping people's frequency change, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all about that. I mean, I do, obviously do channeling and animal communication, and I love working with the animals, and I love the channeling, as you just saw some of that. And I do healing, and I help people see through their own blind spots, which blind spots are really nothing more than parts of our perspectives that when we're locked into it, we just don't realize. We can't see, it's just another frequency. It's all energetics. So yeah, I love doing all of that. And I do retreats. I'm having a retreat coming up in Sedona. My next retreat is with the crystals. I work with the crystals in the crystalline realm in Arkansas. Love that. We've been doing those retreats for years now.